Here for a reason. Hear me out. Don't go. Stay. Listen. Listen to me. All right. I'm gonna be yapping my head for the next, let's say, 15 minutes or so, and you might learn a thing or two, or you might not. And if you do, guess what? Hey, you might like it. You might not. You might hate it. Who knows? Anyway, we begin. We begin the journey. The desire to be loved, a concept that every man or every person on this world has always thought of having, of experiencing. And in order to do that, you need to sacrifice a lot. And what I mean by a lot, I mean is going through trials and tribulations just to have pain, realistically. Because one must understand that love is not going to find you, and you're not going to find it all the time, right? There, there's, let me tell you a story, alright? I was in 8th grade one time, alright? And me and this girl, we used to talk, right? And for naming purposes, we'll just call her uh Chloe. Okay, that was not a name and not anywhere close to Chloe. But for YouTube purposes and story purposes, you know what? We're gonna go with Chloe. I don't know why. It just came out of the blue. I, youngst the other boys in 8th grade, I was very clueless. I never actually had a connection with anyone before. That's not in my family, right? Actually, no. I've never had a romantic connection before. Let's put it like that. And she, right, was we talked in math class. And don't get me wrong, I'm not gonna argue and say, oh yeah, she was the one. I didn't. It was my first time asking, and it was. I asked her. After I should have really asked her during the time when we talked. I don't know why I asked her after, because we talked for a good like 2 months, and then we stopped talking. We stopped sitting by each other in math class, and I said, okay, well, that's fine. I don't know how we stopped talking though, realistically. But ooh, sorry, my ADHD brain. I'm just not realizing I can have music on audio. Music. What are we looking at? Probably like yeah, probably like 30. Okay. So anyway, getting back to what I was saying. I asked her out, right? Because the 8th grade prom, we had an 8th grade prom. I don't know why. It was my first time, of course, going to a prom. Realistically, going anywhere. If she said yes, it would have been my first time. Let's just say that. Like talking to a female, flirting and stuff like that. Well, she didn't, right? And I was nervous. I asked her. I asked her out. I said, "Hey, Chloe, would you like to be my girlfriend?" That's how I said. But I said it like so nervous and stuff. I sounded unconfident. And that I found out that was my problem. And well, now, right? Okay, no, I'm getting off track, bro. Okay, I can't keep a fucking conversation. My bad. So after she said no, right? We were standing in the lockers. I'm just gonna say this. I wouldn't say used to. But in my recent downfalls of my life so far, uh, I haven't really been stand fall on God, right? Of course, that's on a different topic and stuff, but in this moment of time, it was clearly an act of faith or something because it was literally just me and her in the hallway because she forgot to go grab something out of the backpack, out of her locker and stuff. And I was like, "Oh, this is my opportunity," right? I didn't think, "Oh, she might not like me." I didn't think about that. I simply said what I wanted to say in that moment, and I did, right? And it was a couple days before our trip, my vacation that I went to uh, every year. And sadly, of course, she said no, right? She actually didn't even give me a response at all. Okay, she walked away. She laughed in my face, walked away, and went to go tell her group of friends that, oh, hey, he just asked me to be his girlfriend. That moment, I didn't I didn't really think of, right? I was embarrassed when I walked back in the classroom and her talking to her friends. I didn't think much of it, but I truly didn't care. I didn't want to be loved. I didn't need to be loved. But the desire to be loved after she didn't give me an answer, right? But the desire to be loved after not getting an answer, I don't know. I it's something none of us, I think, morally can explain. Because in order to be loved, right, you have to go through being loved or having an experience of love. And I don't know. Maybe I'm just going insane half the time. That might be the truth. But continuing on, right? Um, she, Chloe, right? She a couple of weeks go by. I come back from vacation, come back from spring break. I think it was on spring break. I'm not 100% sure. But I left school a day early that day because, we had to leave. And this is I don't know. I asked her again. I was like, "Oh, this is my thought. Wow, new stutter just dropped. This is my thought process was, oh, she probably needs to ask her parents for approval, right? Because that's what my dad told me. And I was like, okay, yeah, that makes sense because I'm an old school person like that, even now. Um, but um, couple months go by and the prom is almost here, and I had another opportunity. I asked her, hey, I'm just wondering if you would still like to go out or be my girlfriend still. She still didn't give me an answer during that day, but on the same day, apparently she got a boyfriend, right? And instead of her coming up to me and telling me that she didn't want to date or anything, she got her boyfriend to tell me. And because I was confused, I was like, what? It didn't make any sense to me. But you know what? I'm not complaining. I will say karma is real, right? Because at our our 8th grade prom thing, whatever, dance, I don't know what to call it. She got dumped by a boyfriend at the dance. So, and then I told my friend, okay, well, maybe I don't explain that. I do. Screw it. I told my friend that also liked her at the same time that I asked her out, because he was like, "Okay, you go for it, man. Good luck," is pretty much what he said. And on that same dance, I told my friend, "Hey, listen, she got dumped. I'm just gonna let you know you like her. You should dance with her." And they did for like 5 seconds, and then me and my friend just went back to being, I don't know, buds. They didn't do anything. They just hanged out. for like 5 seconds, and that was it. There is no moral of the story from that. And well, I guess there is. Moral of the story: timing matters a lot. Don't screw up in a relationship that you want to work out. I think. Look, man, I don't know. I'm just saying stuff, but it's always been interesting because that's something I look back on, and I wonder like if she still thinks about that moment every time she sees me in school or some shit. Because we go to the same school. Okay, I don't have time to die right now. We're just gonna go back to the village. Yes, I'm playing a game while talking and yapping. Who would imagine? But on the upside of that, right? I learned what it felt like to, I guess, be rejected, even though realistically it didn't count and it was in 8th grade and I didn't really get rejected. I've always looked at that scenario like, oh hey, something dumb in my life happened, and I get a laugh at it now, and yeah, that's just that's the beginning, right? That's the beginning on where desire for me is to be loved. Um, like having an experience and stuff. And ever since then, I haven't actually, well, more recently, but that's already discussed in another video. I haven't actually wanted not to be loved. I've wanted love from another person, and I don't know why. It always happens, and it affects me, and I don't like that it affects me at all. It just does something, and when it, oh wow, that's a amazing find. Ooh, yeah, no, this is why commentating during a game is not good. Um, crap, and I lost my train of focus. All right. So the desire for me, right, is not to get a girlfriend. It's just for someone to love, right? Someone to love me back. Other than my parents, of course, because my parents, I'm not an emo guy, you know. I'm just saying, like, hey, life, uh, I don't know. Life should not be this difficult for one person. And it is. And I hate that. And the fact that I keep saying this is just, okay. No. Fuck my brain, bruh. I'm overthinking this shit way too much. No, I'm not. I just don't know what to say. It's not the desire to be loved that I'm scared of. It's the desire to not have someone, you know? Oh nah, bro. They got this backed up like it's oh nah. Dog, this cannot be real. Where's the iron golem when you need him? And this is a PM idiot? Bro, okay, hold on. Sorry. I need to just okay. We need to just chill. I told myself my freshman year, okay, of high school, that hey, no, yeah, halfway through my freshman year, I said, hey, this is gonna be the year I get a girlfriend. I set a goal. That goal did not happen. I was like, okay, and I started to understand why everything happened, or why a lot of stuff happened. It's because I kept pushing a boundary with someone I shouldn't have. And that's just going to be a lot of explaining for a lot of random stuff. I don't feel like doing that. Because that it's a for me, I wouldn't say it's a sensitive topic, but it's a long ass topic to talk about, and I really don't want to do that right now or forever. I'd rather I don't know. I'd rather see probably one of my friends die than talk about. Of course, Batman can get that out of me. You know, Batman's the OG, but no. I only told one person in my entire life, and that's about it. I might talk about it sometime, but yeah, no, that's pretty much about it with like me, the desire to be loved, on why I have such a topic on it. And it does affect your brain a lot when someone or something in your life gives you that affection back. Let's say an animal, right? Imagine no. Let's say one of your friends, or someone you've had a crush on for a very, very long time. Not even a crush, just something. You started out as friends and you begin talking and all this, right? They're in a relationship and you know you're doing wrong. You don't know what to do. And you overthink on that subject so much, and it starts killing you. Mentally, physically, whatever way you think it's killing you, it's going to kill you. And you may sit there and think, "Oh, it's not that bad. It's not really doing anything to me." It is. It is. I promise you it is. Because once you get to a certain point where you want to talk to that person and you can't, it's impossible. That is the desire to be loved. When you have a certain person in your life that you just want to talk your head out of, talk so much to that person when you can't, and you know you can't, but you really want to because it's hurting you deep inside. I don't get it. Because that's exactly my situation right now. And that's why I realistically stream now, is because I just get it clears my mental space, all my mental problems. Not all of them, of course, because, you know, I'm not that much of a goofball. But talking about it with someone or by yourself, specifically by yourself, is not good. At least sharing it with people or someone, this is a lot of sugarcane. Holy holy. Um, just to be loved, or just giving, sorry, whoa, not be loved by random people. That's a no. Not random people should love you. No, they should respect you, but the idea to, hold up, are you seeing this? 1, 2, 3. That was 4. I just picked up, whatever. Um, wow, really good job on randomly stopping to talk. But the more you look at it, the more you understand that you don't need a girlfriend in life, or you don't need a significant other. If you're able to just live your life peacefully and by yourself, do it. You don't need other people. You don't need the ability to have a romantic connection. Not even romantic. I mean a friend, for instance. If you really enjoy talking to a friend and you start seeing stuff, or they post stuff that makes you regret talking to them, just don't talk to them. Cut them off. Do something other than focus your energy on that person. Because that's not gonna work out. It won't. It's impossible. It only works out if the other person is doing it on purpose. And that is my opinion. I will take that to my grave. For a matter of fact, I will die for that. Now, my opinion might change. It might get shorted around a little bit. But that's what I truly believe. That's what needs to happen in people's life in order to gain control over their life, or over their love life. They need to, either 3 things need to happen. You either need to go through something that's going to tear you down, or it's the other opposite way. You tear someone else down and you realize how bad you fucked up. How bad you fucked up depends on how you feel in a relationship. Because you don't want to hurt that significant other, but you or that significant other might hurt you and you don't know what to do. You haven't been through that before. Stupid camel getting in the way. If you haven't been through that before, you don't want to go through it. And if that's something you're wishing to happen on you, don't. Just don't. Sit back and relax while you live your peaceful life. That is the number one reason why people live. And that's why most people don't need a relationship. You start realizing that when, again, those things happen to you. And if they do happen to you, you move on. It's gonna hurt, and it will hurt for maybe a couple of days or maybe a couple of years, dude. It could take months, weeks, years on end until you finally realize maybe this isn't for me. Maybe this person or this love that I need doesn't need to happen right away. In this instant, it doesn't need to be attainable. You can be loved without having to force someone to love you, without having to talk to someone. It's simple as that. Some people take that and just forget about it. They just truly forget about it. And they don't understand how painful it is to not to keep living like that. They say they're fine. They say they're okay when you know they're truly not and they're suffering. Because they just want love, a desire for something that can or might happen, but it's going to take a long time. Now, of course, in this society, yeah, it just happens because people cheat, but I'm talking about if you're someone like me, for instance, of course I'm going to utilize me as, the person of interest here. If you're someone who goes out of their way, no, it's just not going to work. But if you're someone who's, I wouldn't say me, but if you're someone who's willing to take that risk sometimes for someone, do it. It may not give you the best answer right away, but if you're willing to sit there and take your time with a person, do it. Do not cheat, though. Cheating is bad. It may be completely legal, but it is the worst option for anyone. Because not only are you destroying yourself when you cheat, you're destroying the other person who was dating that person. Like if Chloe, right? If she was to cheat on me with her current boyfriend, she has a boyfriend right now. Yeah. If Chloe was able to cheat on her boyfriend with me right now, would be insane. You want to know why? We haven't talked in ever since 8th grade. The last words I ever said to her was when I broke my collarbone. She asked, "Are you doing all right?" That touched me. That was my desire. That is when I started. Respectfully, I told her no. And then I moved on with my life. I haven't thought about her since. I haven't even said her name since 8th grade. That's how I was affected. That's how it affected me. Because it affected me, like I didn't care. I truly did not care if she rejected me or not. But because you go through a circumstance like that, you become aware of what you want versus what you don't want. And if that person is what you want, then it's not what you need. You could say, "Oh, I need a person who's gonna be there. I need a guy or a girl that's gonna be there for me." No, you don't. The whole point of being an adult is taking care of yourself. The whole point of growing up is becoming the person you want to become. You don't want to sit there and tell that other person, I just want to be loved. Because if you tell that other person that, guess what? It's not gonna look good on you. It's not gonna look good for the other person. Because then they know that you're just not efficient. They understand that. They do. I understand that. I've been there and done that, and I don't like it. It's not a fun place to be in. You may feel at sometimes that, oh, I don't need, but at some point, see, I'm in the mix of both, right? Like, you don't need love, but you also do need love to continue to strive mentally. If you just want to be a full-on, like, dead person, then fuck it. Do it. Be a dead person. Be dead inside. Don't give a shit about love. If that's what you want to do, that's what you want to do, do it. But for an average person, don't do it. Sit there and overthink if you want. Think of something that's gonna. Oh, think of something. Sorry, stupid reaction. Think of something that you want versus what the other person wants. Is it really you that wants love, or is it really just something that you want to feel? Do you want that person, or do you want that connection? Because if it's the person, that means it's physical with that person. If it's a connection, it's emotional, right? It's something you adapt when you grow up. I'm definitely not for all the people, but it's for someone. It's a type of sign of some stupid stuff. I don't know, dog. But that's pretty much it. That's the desire to be loved in a person's perspective, in my perspective. With no knowledge on it, I'm just freeballing it, dude. It's what I've been doing for all my streams. And it's been working, I guess. But I don't know, dog. I might not be able to make the life out of this that I want to make. And that's fine. I came to the realization of that. And if this doesn't work out, I already have my plan on what I want to do. So, wow. I yawned. That's how you know I'm cooked. I guess I do have some time to explain about. Yeah, free ball it. Why not? We're gonna take a couple drinks here of this amazing water. Also gaining a headache from my own voice, so that's so fun. So, this is where it all started. 2.5 years ago, no, 1.5 years ago. Yeah, 1.5 year ago. I made a oopsie doopsie pretty much with this girl that, again, of course it's always a girl. And we can't name her Chloe 2.0. That's just nasty. We'll name her Sydney. Okay, I don't know where these names are coming from. They're just coming. Ooh, yeah, kill me. No, I'm joking. Don't do that. Don't. Anyway, so Sydney and I, she was signaling that, no. She was she was single at the time, and that's when I started catching feelings for her. Right? I didn't take a motive. And this is kind of where I started to realize a lot of shit afterwards, because I didn't know she liked me because she never told me. So we're gonna start off like this, okay? We're gonna sit here and enjoy the beautiful view of the desert. If I can get up this, and I'm gonna talk. Or do we want to get up there? We want to get up there. Okay. No, we don't. We want to get back over here. So, right? She, Rachel, thought it was a smart idea. No, let's start here. So she got a boyfriend after a couple of weeks, right? After I started catching feelings, I was like, crap, I missed my opportunity. So I said, okay, that's fine. I'll just keep being friends with her. This is the number one mistake I made. Being friends with someone you like when they are in a relationship. And I'm kind of repeating that as I'm speaking of this subject. That's happening right now, and I know I need to stop. Am I going to stop? Probably not. But because, blah blah blah, emotional stuff, blah blah blah. Anyway, she Rachel, right, I decided, okay, a couple months, actually, yeah, a couple months go by, maybe a year goes by of them dating. No, a couple of months, and I reach out and I was like, hey, because at this time we were still friends. I said how I felt towards her. I don't know why. I I don't know. My reason specifically was because I've been thinking about it a lot and it's mentally killing me. That's what I told her. My actual reason, I truly don't know anymore. Looking back at it, because I said it out of I said it out of spite. Okay, that's what I did. I said it out of spite. I said those words out of spite because I was angry with her decision. Now, because she was all right, we're gonna take a step back. We're gonna time travel a little bit. She was telling me how her boyfriend wasn't, being all there for her, and he was lying to her, and I was like, okay, well, blah blah blah. Couple days go by, I'm like, okay, well, realistically, if a relationship isn't working out, then maybe I have a chance. Maybe I can just tell her how I feel, and she might understand me. Little did I know, it was complete opposite. I was wrong. She did not like me. Well, at that current moment, she did not. And I told her, I straight up told her, hey, listen, I really like you. I see some stuff that other people don't see. I see what, blah, blah, blah. And this is the question that I asked her. I said, did you think at any point, mind you, keyword, any point, that we could date or that you liked me? And this was her response. I liked you when I went over to your house when I was single. She never told me this. She only told me this when I admitted my feelings for her. Alright? That's some wild shit. If I knew she actually liked me, because she had to come over to my house, she met my parents and stuff, blah blah blah. While she was leaving, we both looked at each other, right? Because I walked out of the house like a gentleman would. And we both looked at each other and we knew at that moment that we would be good together. I knew that, at least. That's what I thought. I was wrong. Excuse me for trying, right? But this is that was her exact words. I liked you when I went over to your house. She was single at this time, right? When she went over to my house. If I just knew that, I would have had an opportunity. I would have asked her on the spot right then and there. Well, little do I know, she tells her boyfriend, Cause she literally asked me, "Hey, should I tell my boyfriend that you just asked me out or confessed your feelings to me?" I said, "You should. That will help your relationship." And I was right. It did help a relationship. Cause after a couple of days, I'm not going into great detail with what he said to me because it's not kid friendly. It's not YouTube friendly. Let's just say, because he was a little mad. Uh, but I she told me, "Oh yeah, he's doing a little bit better, whatever." And I said, "Hey, well, all I'm gonna say is I helped out with a relationship, and it worked out with a relationship, right? Well, because this is what I told her. If you tell him, it's probably gonna fix his attitude with you, and probably gonna set him straight." Which it did. It did 100%. And a couple weeks go by of us not talking. I reach out, no reply. I actually told her to tell her mom. I said Happy Mother's Day. Yeah, I know. I'm desperate. Boo hoo. Um, and a couple more days, weeks go by. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna reach out again. I'm gonna say, hey, just wondering how you're doing. This is the part in history where I thought this would never happen, and it does. It did. I'm shocked. I sat on my phone reading this message for 50 minutes, wondering what I did. Like, at that moment, I didn't really understand what I did wrong. Now I do. At that moment in time, I didn't know what I did wrong. Because it didn't make any sense. Like, why? Because out of the blue, right? I asked her how she was doing. She said, fuck off. Those are the only two words. This is how I reacted to her. I kind of forgot what I was calling her. Fuck. Uh, this is how I reacted to her. We're just gonna call her now. I said, "Hey, what did I say?" It's something along the lines of because I thought it was her boyfriend, right? I said, "Oh, that's funny of you to reach out like that." Blank D blank blank. Um, I said his name and I said his name and then a word. No, I said his name and kind of cussed at her, and that's not me. Even though it is apparently back then. Um, well, she didn't say anything back, right? She pretty much ghosted me. I don't know. She never blocked me, which is the funny part. She still doesn't have me blocked to this day, by the way. And I've gotten over it, but it took a hot second. It broke me. Damn, voice crack. It broke me down. It truly messed with my mental status. I couldn't I couldn't understand what I did wrong. I started to overthink a lot, you know. Me overthinking is usually either a good sign or a bad sign. Well, I come to my surprise that maybe telling her that I liked her at that moment was a bad idea. Cause it was. Uh I shouldn't have done that. And looking at it, if I didn't, I don't know. Because I kept asking myself, oh, what if she did? What if she actually liked me? What if she said yes? What if she texted me back? I got in this loop for a good like 8 months, right? I got out of it like maybe a year ago. Um, I'm out of it now. I feel better, a lot better. I feel relaxed. I feel comfortable. Um, and yeah, but at that moment when she said that, I was like, okay, no big deal. She's probably just goofing around. No, she wasn't. She meant it. She meant fuck off. And it hurt me. Mentally, of course. Physically, the fuck no. Over that, no. No. But that's a blah, blah, blah. That's definitely a life lesson I'd like to keep in my back because it's something that helped me in my life so far. And I mean, I'm not complaining. I needed to experience that. Otherwise, I would not be the person I am today. Um, yeah, no, but that's that story. And then the current one that I'm trying to deal with, I have a video already posted on that. So, you know, one of these days, dude. And fun fact, after I posted that video, I was like, okay, well, I'm gonna think a little bit more, and I think I don't want to talk to her anymore. So I just stopped talking to her for a little bit. A little bit as in like today, Ian, and I didn't really message her that much, but I just texted her saying some stuff. Nothing concerning, you know. Hey, I wanna stop talking to you or some shit. Just the fact on a funny topic, if something funny. I don't know. Kind of lost count, you know. But I pretty much just said some stuff because she messaged me first, which was surprising. She never does that at all, which tells me something either bad is going to happen in the next couple of days or good. And usually with her, I don't want it to be bad, but it's probably going to be bad. I don't want to get the news that, oh, she's dumping a boyfriend for me. Nah. Because she recently posted some videos on a story that, you know, and I don't know if she follows my channel on YouTube. Definitely on Instagram, though, because, you know, we friends, I think. At this point, it feels more like we're dating. Not dating. Whoa, 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 whoa. Feels more like, feels more like we're, you know, flirting and stuff. But, happens. I would not recommend getting into a thing like that, even if it kills you. Because you definitely do not want to be in a relationship or be in a situationship with a person, you know, has a boyfriend or girlfriend. But yeah, no, that's just my standpoint. That's what I feel like. That's what being loved should not be at all. And that's how it usually starts, is by being loved. And then, oh wow, skeleton is crafty. We're actually just gonna yank him. Oh no, almost died. And I get a bow out of it? Oh yeah. I don't need gold. Nah. I also don't need this. That's pretty much it. On the topic of that. And I could keep talking about like my life and shit. But I don't think you or me wants to keep doing that, so yeah, let's not. No, let's what the fuck, dude? Oh shit, he's on the move. He wants my ass. What can I trade here? Potatoes. But I'm probably gonna end it here. And yeah. If this is uploaded and you made it this far, hey, you should subscribe. Just saying, it's free. It definitely helps me out a lot. And you get to learn more about me if you're in the live streams. So peace out.